Hello everyone. Welcome to this course and welcome to the first lecture of this course, Master DSA Level 0. Okay, so let's first talk about what is the intent of this course, why I'm creating this course, while there are several multiple courses available on YouTube, okay, that are free and also the paid ones. So when I'm learning coding, I find it a bit difficult for me and I do not have any interest in coding. That's so real. I want to tell you. And I feel that I'm just mugging up the codes, like how to print a prime number, how to print a Fibonacci series, okay, how to print a pattern. And at that time, I even don't know what a variable is, what is the if it's a condition statement, what are loops. I don't know. Okay, if you're new to programming, so you also feeling these type of jargons, the technical words we don't know. Okay, but as time passes and I'm familiar with a term called data structures and algorithm, okay, so I'm just start to learning them. And at that time, when I know there are so much syllabus that I have to cover, I'm very scared. Okay, and it brings my motivation so down, then I quit it. Okay, after a certain period of time, like approximately after 8 or 9 months, I come up like I want to find the answer. Why I'm coding, why I'm programming, why I'm learning data structures, why the companies are paying 1 CR to the international people, why these companies hire a lot of software engineers, what is the like main intent behind it. And then I come to know this magical thing called problem solving. Okay, let me give an example of it. You know, in the night or in the morning, you can say at 2 a.m. I feel a bit hungrier. Okay, you guys also feel that. And I do not want to make a Maggie. I don't know how to make a Maggie. Okay, so there's some guy solved my problem. They made an app through which I can download in my smartphone and I can actually order a Maggie middle of the night. Yeah, these guys are called Swiggy and Zomato. You got my point? We have a problem. In the middle of a night or morning, I'm hungry and I do not want to. I'm so lazy, okay? I'm in my bed. I do not want to like go upstairs and make Maggie for me, but I can order it. So the hungry people are always there. The problem is always there. And the restaurant is always there. They become just mediator and bingo. We have a multi-million dollar company in front of us. So this is the magic of problem solving. They made an app, so they hire software developers now. These software developers are the magician or the wizard. This is 2023. Google it. They are the magicians. You know, the packages are much higher. I know it's the time of recession, but it will fade away. So, in this particular course, we are going to learn, we are going to master the problem solving thing. This is my main intent. I'm going to teach you coding, programming, data structures, and algorithm. This is just the main idea here is to solve a problem. If you know how to solve an X problem without mugging it up, just like I'm mugging up the prime number. Okay, if you mug up the course of prime number, but if you have to write a code for composite number, what will you do? Okay, you can't do it now. So I'm giving you an approach how to think. Steve Jobs says everyone should do coding because it teaches mind how to think. Okay, so we should know how to think. So this thing is called problem solving, and you can read it out here. Is the process of reaching a goal by overcoming obstacle. There's obstacle, obviously. I'm hungry and I don't want to make Maggie, but there's some guy who made an app for me. So he has an obstacle. He overcomes it for me. Okay, and bingo. That's the thing. A frequent part of most activities. So problem solving is the core idea behind it. How these multi-dollar businesses are going off in the world. Okay, so the main intention of this course is problem solving. We are using data structure as a tool here. Okay, as the course passes, you will feel why I'm focusing and stressing on problem solving much. Okay, so here's the psychology behind it. You can read this entire article if you have some free time, but we are here for computer science. So in computer science, Artificial intelligence involves designing like automatic system to solve a specific type of problem. To accept input, we have input, we have to process it, and then we have to output. That's we do in our online assessment. We have an input, we have to make these processing, we have to write a algo, we have to write a code that takes that input. We have to like build a code, okay, that gives us proper output. That's they want only. We have a problem and we want a solution of it. We coders slash magicians are the ones who make it, and we are the ones who run this world. That's true. Okay, so you can read this entire article if you want to know. Just let's just jump out to the our main topic of this class is introduction to flowcharts. Okay, what is a flowchart? First, you have to understand what a problem is. A problem is, for me, the problem is like my internet is slow. For me, the problem is I have to go to home, so I have to find a new. I have to book Rapido. Okay, that's my problem. Now, flowchart is something which you are already familiar with. Okay, in your previous classes, if you have studied good enough. Flowchart is the diagrammatic representation of an algorithm. Now, what is the algorithm? Like, for example, suppose if I ask you, what is the algorithm of for brushing? Like you brush your teeth. So what is the algorithm? So you said, first of all, I bring my toothbrush and toothpaste. Then I put some toothpaste on my toothbrush. Okay. And then I, just rub my teeth. And I have some water. And then I put some water on my mouth. Okay. And just, roll it in my mouth and just spit it out. Okay, that's the algorithm. So there are some finite step. Okay, I know this is a bad example, but that's my way of teaching it. Okay, so there are some finite step which you have to follow and you will get the desired output. Some guy come up and say, no man, I don't do brush like this, I do some other thing, like first of all I gather some water in a container, and then I go bring my toothbrush and toothpaste. Okay, some people use that powder toothpaste thing. So what I'm saying, algorithm is a like finite step to solve a particular problem. You got that? Okay, you got it. So flowchart is a graphical representation of an algorithm. So programmer often use this for planning to solve a particular problem. Okay, this is, you can read this article on Geek for Weeks. Okay, now to make flowchart we have different components. Like the first component is the terminal, this elliptical shape. Okay, this X shape. Okay, it's called terminal. It tells us where a program is starting or where a program is ending. So it is basically start to stop. Okay, now it may clear as time passes. This particular parallelogram shape is used for input output. Like for example, I have to input some number. Okay, or you want to print some number. So in that case, this parallelogram is used. Okay, now third one is processing. This square box. Okay, this rectangle box. Sorry, my bad. This rectangle box is used as a processing. Okay, now fourth one is decision making. Like I have to make a decision. Should I took close up today, or should I use like normal Colgate, like white one? So which one I have to choose? So I will make a decision. So this is used for decision making. Okay, like true or false. Okay, you will get it. Now connectors. I'm skipping this thing when we have a complex problem. So then this connector use. So B is a circle basically. B, I will tell you much more about when we are reading it in function chapter. Okay, so only understand something. Circle is a connector here. Okay, now flow lines. So we have flow lines like arrows. Okay, like upwards arrow, downwards arrow. So they are called like flow lines. Now here are some rules. Okay, so you can read it out. Like rule 1 is flowchart opening statement must be start. Obviously you have to start somewhere. Rule 2 is flowchart ending statement must be end. You can also say stop. Okay, but they are saying you have to use stand keyword. Okay, Now rule 3 is all symbols in the flowchart must be connected with arrow line. Got that arrow? What I'm talking about, okay? And fourth, the decision symbol in the flowchart cannot be associated with the arrow line. Now, what is this, Mike? The decision symbol in the flowchart cannot be associated with arrow line. So I will tell you when we are making a flowchart. Okay. Now here are the advantages and disadvantages. You can read it out. Now this is the example of it. Draw a flowchart to input two numbers from the user and display the largest of the two number. Okay. Now we have to open this image up. Now you see it. Here we are starting. Okay. This is the starting. So here, remember what this shape is called? Terminal. So here we do start. Okay. Then this shape is what? I know it's a parallelogram, but in our flowchart, what this component is called? This is called input output. Okay. Like you forgot that? Okay. Let me remind you again. Here we go. This is for input output. Okay. So this is input output. So we input number one, input number two, and these arrows are the flow lines. These arrows are called flow lines. Now this is the decision box, and it cannot be associated with what? Arrow line. See, they are not associated with what? Arrow line. Okay. Now, see this. We have a decision box here, which either can spit out true or false. Okay. We have already read it in the article. Now, this decision box is num1 is greater than num2. We are asking in this particular decision box. So either it will be true or it will be false. So if it is true, then num1 is greater, so display num1. Because obviously, if num1 is greater, so display num1. Or if num1 is not like greater than num2, then it is false. Then if it is false, display num2 means that number 2 is greater. So now we have the connector. Now connector is some other code, okay, which we don't know yet, and neither we want to know it right now. Okay, so it is connected, and after the processing, we have to stop it. We can also remove this circle here, but for their educational purpose, they are putting it here. Okay. Now, did you get this? If you do not get this, just repeat this video again. Watch this entire part again. You will definitely got it. Okay, go to this Geek for Geeks article, learn it. You will really feel what I wanted to say. Okay, now here we have some example in code. Like these are some technical words, and you feel don't scared. What this hashtag is doing here? What is this using? What is this? You don't need to understand for right now. Okay, now just understand. Here we have num1, num2, and some their coordinate is largest. Okay, so I will explain you. Suppose they are inputting here, okay, and they're like comparing here if else. So this all I will explain. What I wanted to do, we enter two numbers like input here, 10 and 30. What is the biggest number here? That is 30. Means this num2 is bigger. So num2 is bigger. So what we do? Display num2. That means 30 is display. Our problem is solved. So what I wanted to convey from this? I wanted to convey this. We have a problem. What the problem is? We want to find the largest of two number. That's the problem. Then we take some input. So we have this input here, 10 and 30. And now we want some output. So we have this output. But our job is, a programmer job is, a problem solver job is to create this algo in his or her head. Write it down on a piece of paper, diagrammatically represent it to for the clear understand, so that you can communicate easily with other people easily, because computer can't understand it. You can't draw this diagram and send it to computer never gonna understand it. Got my point? So this is something what we called flowchart. Now I want to tell you something much more interesting, which we call here pseudocode. And I would like GFG here. Okay, so what is pseudocode? That's my main intention behind it. Okay, and I'm using GFG because it is a much trusted source. Okay, so yeah, pseudocode just a defined step-by-step description of an algorithm. What we do in flowchart, we are using like graphical represent. We are drawing diagrammatic represent. Here we are just writing in plain simple English. Just I'm communicating with We've already discussed pseudocode for like brushing teeth. Okay, in the starting of this video. Okay, so pseudocode does not use any programming language. It's generic code. Each and like the non-programmer can easily understand it. A 5-year kid girl will understand this. That is a pseudocode. Okay, so pseudocode is the intermediate state between idea and its implementation. When you have an idea in your head and you have to write a code, the middle of between them is pseudocode in a high level language. Now, what is a high level language? I will tell you after some time in the course. Now, what is the need of it? Like we have an algorithm, okay, which is our head, but we want to show it to other people. So we can't write code not directly because it may contain errors or it may contain error. Na? What is the possibility? What is the probability that you will get? You will solve the problem for the first time. So pseudocode act as a mediator between them, like algorithm and the program, algorithm and the code, the algorithm which I have developed in my head, and the program that I'm gonna write on my compiler. What is a compiler? I will do in next class. Okay, pseudocode is the mediator between them. You got this? Okay. Now how to write pseudocode? Okay, so organize the sequence of tasks. Okay, just like the flowchart. After first step is the main goal of the aim. This program will print n number of Fibonacci series. Like what is the Fibonacci? I will tell you in the next class. Okay, as the course passes. Now here example. If one, if one print response, I am case one. That's simple. What it's saying? If one print response, what print response? I am case one. If two print response, I am case two. So this is the like basic understanding. Like what's the bad pseudocode and good pseudocode. So good one is for each index of string, you don't need to know what the string is for right now. Just string, a word. The string is a word. Okay. For each index is a point, an element. Okay. For now, you will understand this only for this much is important for you to understand. So string index is equal to hash, then return hash found. Simple. And if and for. Simple. Now you're making complex here. For I is equal to 0 to 20, if string I is equal to hash. So you're coding here now basically. A non-technical or a non-mathematician person will never able to understand it. So you have to make pseudocode in such a manner that a kid, a 5-year kid will understand this. Obviously he or she should know English. Okay. Now, what is more important, pseudocode or flowchart? Let me tell you clearly in your entire life, you should give preference to flowchart. Okay, because most of the time that's how flowchart is used. Okay, now difference between algorithm and pseudocode. Algorithm is used to provide a solution to a particular problem in the form of well-defined step-based form, but a pseudocode is a step-by-step description of an algorithm. What? Description of an algorithm in code like structure using plain English text. Okay. Now difference between pseudocode. You have to mark this. You have to your homework for this particular lecture is what is the difference between flowchart and pseudocode. You have to understand it. Okay. So Google it on GFG. A flowchart is a pictorial graphical representation of flow of an algorithm where pseudocode is a step-by-step description. I'm stressing this word description of an algorithm code like structure using plain English text. Okay. So here's the like pseudocode. You can understand this. Okay. So in this course, we have understand what a problem is, what is a problem solving mindset, why it is important. Okay. And what we are going to do in this particular course. Okay. So this is all the pretty much stuff I want to convey in this particular like video or session. Continue, we are not coding in this particular session because I know it from the starting. I can't just start coding. Okay, people find it very difficult. Okay, the pace of the course is this. Okay, I'm not gonna teach you all the stuff in a one particular video. That's not my intensity. Is I just make you feel good. Okay, if you like this video, so do comment on this whether what part you like and what part you do not like. Okay, so tell me, improvements will always be there. Okay, so I meet you next class. Take care then.